Hey guys, it's Bees. Another video from the Dragonflight beta. This time we're looking at Resto Shamans. Now, they fixed a long-standing bug in the alpha into the beta where the idea was if you took a point in the healing stream totem in the class tree and one in the resto tree, that's how you get your two charges of healing stream totem now. That just never worked. You put the two talent points in, and it still only had one charge. Very annoying to test out. And then, thus, when you turned it into Cloudburst over here, Cloudburst only had one charge. And they also nerfed Healing Stream Totem to a base of 45 seconds. I know it says 41 there, but there's a talent that reduces the cooldown of your totems by 4 seconds. So, trying to test out Resto Shaman with one Cloudburst charge at a 41-second cooldown before this was annoying. But they finally fixed it, so I've been playing Shaman. So let's look at the class tree first. The class trees, both for Resto and Shaman, haven't seen many tweaks in the beta. And one thing I will say is the trees are pretty nice. Like almost every node is almost a node you would want. Now there's some enhancement nodes over here that you wouldn't want as resto, but they got to be there for our enhancement shaman brothers. But the problem with the tree is they threw a lot of utility into the class tree in this upper part. So you can't take it all back. If you look here, I have skipped out on Frost Shock. I have skipped out on Hex. I have skipped out on Tremor Totem. I've skipped out on Spirit Walker's Grace because I can't take everything. So you're going to have to give up some stuff here at the top of the tree to get stuff at the bottom of the tree. So it is kind of weird to be a shaman and not have Frost Shock or Tremor Totem, but the idea with the talents now is you can set up different loadouts. So I could have a loadout that has, like this loadout now has Capacitor Totem and Purge. But what if I was in a dungeon or a raid that I didn't need those? So I can spec out of those and maybe spec down here into Stone Skin Totem or Tremor Totem if it's needed. So it just gives us the flexibility to bring what we need to the dungeons, and you can spend the points elsewhere to what you don't need. So how does Resto Shaman play? It plays very similar to how it does in Shadowlands now. It's just we're losing Vesper Totem, which is a big oof. It's so weird playing without Vesper Totem, and we're also losing the 4-piece bonus. I just love our totems dropping free chain heals for us. It's hard to play without those. They were such big quality of life, or just not even quality of life. Vesper Totem was just what made us really good in Shadowlands. So sadly, those are going away. So what do they give us instead to try to make up for what we lost? Well, one nice little ability is this ability called Gust of Wind, which was an ability I think shamans had before. And what does it do? It just does this. Hiya. It just gives us a quick movement ability. Boss turns to you and has the big cone of death aimed at you. You can just now gust of wind out of the way. If you're standing, somewhere and a big, killer circle appears around you, you can just now gust of wind out of it. It has a based cooldown of 30 seconds. I put a point into a talent here to make it 25 seconds, so you can use it pretty reliably. I swear I can talk. What else is new coming back, or new for us? Nature Swiftness, your next healing or damaged nature spell. It's instant cast, costs no mana on a minute cooldown. So, what would we want to use this on? Probably Chain Heal or Healing Wave or healing surge to make it instant, or we can use it on a chain lightning if we want to throw out some deeps. It just saves us a little bit of mana. New thing, poison cleansing totem. Throw it down for 9 seconds. It cleanses a nearby party member of poison every 1.5 seconds. So we have a way to get rid of poisons now, if we so need it. Ancestral Guidance. For the next 10 seconds, 25% of your damage and healing is converted into healing, up to 3 by nearby injured party members or raid members. This is just a nice little healing cooldown we can use. A lot of damage is going out. You can just pop this, pump some healing, and basically 25% extra healing is being thrown onto 3 injured allies. 2-minute cooldown. Pretty nice. Over here on the resto tree, has the same problem. Like, the top half of the tree is a lot of spells and abilities that spells, abilities, or procs that we have now that we have to get back, and we can't get everything. Because if you put all the points up here to get everything back, then you're not getting any of the cool stuff at the bottom of the tree. I just decided to skip Mana Tide Totem and 5-man content. You can drink between pulls, so do I really need Mana Tide Totem in 5-man dungeons? One interesting thing I want to point out, I don't have Healing Rain, but there is a new upgrade node underneath it. One just says when you cast Healing Rain, it instantly restores health up to 6 allies in its area. Also increases the size a little bit. So you get a little bit more bang for your healing buck out of Healing Rain. Probably would use this in a raid setting. But Acid Rain, it deals, let's just round it up to 1,000 damage to up to 6 enemies inside the Healing Rain. This is a Torghast ability. And I was super excited to see this. Would it give us a reason to cast Healing Rain in 5-man dungeons? In my testing over the weekend, I wasn't too impressed with it. If you throw this down, it did somewhere between 2k and 3k damage, depending on the size. Maybe up to 4k if it was the full 6 mobs in the Healing Rain. Problem is, tank has to keep them in the Healing Rain. It's annoying in a 5-man group to cast Healing Rain. It has to cast time. We're all in kind of crappy low-level gear, so not a lot of haste. You gotta, throw it out there. And 2 to 4k damage. I mean, if I just spam Chain Lightning, I felt like I did around 10 to maybe 12k damage. So trying to deal with the headache of throwing down Healing Rain just to get a little bit more damage on top of it, it was just another thing to juggle. It might be worth it, when you get into higher mythic plus and mobs are living longer, but like the healing from Healing Rain was never that exciting in a 5-man group, and it's just the damage it dealt wasn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people who are smarter than me have tested it and are singing praises about Acid Rain, but I didn't enjoy it. And over here, we just got Stormkeeper. Charge yourself with lightning, cause your next 2 lightning bolts and chain lightning deal 150% more damage and be instant cast. I think this is the elemental talent that's in live now. Resto Shamans have it now, so right before the tank pulls, you can pop this, get 2 free supercharged instant cast chain lightnings into the pool. If you want to get even a little more spicier, Nature Swiftness, a 3rd one in there. And like I said, that felt like it did way more damage than the Acid Rain over here. So, sorry Acid Rain. I wanted to like you, but just didn't cut the mustard. They took away Vesper Totem, but we kept Primordial Wave. Now, definitely in Raid, you're probably going to slam this and all the points. All the 3 talent nodes under it, 3 points. But in a 5-man group, you know what? I've been going back and forth. I did some groups with it. And if the group's running smoothly, you don't need the extra healing. But if you're in a group that some things are going wrong and you need some extra AoE healing, it was nice. So I don't know. Maybe in a 5-man content, you're just gonna take the 1 point and not getting 4, trying to dedicate 4 talent points to it just seemed like overkill, and you're giving up too much over here. But 1 point just to get it could make the cut in 5-man content. Downpour was a talent no one ever picked because the other choices in the row were just so much better. But now, we can just, for 1 talent point, I don't know if we're going to take it in 5-man content, but probably in a raid, it could make the cut. It's interesting. I don't know. I haven't had a build yet that really tested this, but maybe it's good. Ancestral Awakening, when you crit heal with a Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Riptide, you summon an Ancestral Spirit, it heals a friendly target within 40 yards for 20% of the amount healed. Alright, sounds cool, but what does this actually do if you just look at the numbers? It just says when you crit heal with one of these spells, basically it crit heals for 20% more. It just might not be on that target. It would just always heal the lowest health target. It's a little boring, but hey, 20% more healing on your crit heals when Shaman's already like this stack crit. This does about 8 to 10% of my total healing in dungeons, so it was really nice. Down here, Primal Tidal Core, the every 4 casts of Riptide also applies Riptide to another target. If you think you need Primordial Wave in 5-man groups, you're going to want this to go with that. So that's what I've been testing out, and I can always just have a whole bunch of Riptides, rolling on the group, and when I want to hit this and get a big juicy Primordial Wave, I have all the Riptides already out. So I think this and this talent are going to go together. The other note is High Tide. Another talent in live that no one took because everything else was better, but now it's not, going against all those other good talents. We might actually play this in a raid environment. Ascendance. If you're in a 5-man content, you're probably going to want this. Now it's kind of interesting because we never really took this in raids, but now we might be able to have it in raids. Imagine having Ascendance with Wellspring and either Primal Tide Core or High Tide at the same time. That's something new we're going to have to test around with. Over here is Deeply Rooted Elementals. I never really liked this in 5-man content. It was just kind of unreliable. Always procced at the most awkward times, but I don't even know if we would want to take Wellspring in 5-mans, but Wellspring still seems to be good in raids. So this is what the shaman tree is looking like. So like I said, you're still going to play the same in dungeons and raids as you do now. It's just what we're losing, the 4-piece and Vesper Totem or Chain Harvest, is the other stuff they give us. I mean, it's going to be different. Oh, I forgot to mention Ever Rising Tide. And another little cooldown. On a 30-second cooldown, overcharge your mana. For 8 seconds, increase your haste and healing by 10%. When overcharge, your mana regeneration is halted. So in a 5-man content, you almost have this up for every pool, so you can just be like, either save it for the scary part of the pool, or when things hit the fan, you can just be like, oh my god, Ever Rising Tide, and combo it with Ancestral Guidance or maybe Ascendance, and really pump out the healing to catch up on that damage if something does go wrong. And then you can just quickly drink in between pulls to get that mana you lost back. So yeah, I have been enjoying my Resto Shaman on beta, just flying around with gust of wind. It's just like, oh, the boss turns towards me and is doing some scary frontal. You know what? Well, yeah, I'm out of the way now. I actually went back on live and was doing keys, and I went to gust of wind out of a frontal, and I went, oh, I don't have gust of wind anymore. So, it's going to be interesting. We just have to see how it compares up to other healers. Are we still going to be on top for the Mythic Plus Healer King? I know right now in Shadowlands, Holy Priest are king, but Resto Shamans are a solid number 2 behind Holy Priest. Are we going to still be up near the top? It's hard to tell, but we're not looking bad. Let's just say it like that. We haven't lost a lot of stuff, and we've gained some interesting new stuff to toy around with. So, thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.